Welcome to Bourbon and Badgers, the podcast, live in Studio 77 from Gastonia, North Carolina, and Calabash, the voice of the uncommon people.
Started on three.
It's already been started. Y'all are on TV.
Oh, man.
Off and running.
I just screwed up the timer right out of the bat.
Man, I love the music, dude. I'm glad you added that back in.
Yep.
All right, man. So we're official. Timers are all set. We're recording everywhere. So yeah, there we go.
How the hell is everybody?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. Well, I tell you, well, I tell you, I'm thinking about moving back to Gastonia, man. Everything up in the world up here on Shootout Mountain has tried to eat me.
That's what we were talking for everybody tuning in. We were talking earlier. I said, damn, Slow, you moved into a effed up neighborhood. And I go, not for guns and crime, for freaking critters trying to eat and poison your ass.
Good
Every time
grief,
you get
yo,
bit by something swells up, something falls off, milky eyes or some shit. I mean, there's always something going on with you, bro.
I have been to the doctor more times this year up here than I have like the last 6 years in Gastonia. And I told the doctor last time, I'm going back to Gastonia. I just had to go back and get shot and robbed. My health was great down there. Yeah, man. The last thing is this welcome to getting old with the doctor with my eyes, and it's got this little, it's sort of like a little glaze, little black little circle type thing. The doctor called it a floater in my eye.
Floaters.
Yeah, and I could see it. Yeah, if I'm just looking at you guys, I can't see it. But I'm looking at a wall or sky.
Can you see me, Slow?
Can you
I see this thing floating around my eye.
Slow. Can you still see me?
As a matter of fact, if I'm squinting tonight, that's why I had my eyes dilated earlier, and the lights are still bothering me, and that's why they're a little more shadows normal because I've moved lights around.
What causes it? What were you telling me?
Getting old, man. Dadgummit.
Old.
Damn jealous. You said some milky. I'm making fun of you earlier because you said some kind.
He said the doctor said when you're younger, the gel in your eyes kind of hard. And the older you get, the softer it gets, and some of it can just kind of like a lava lamp.
Wait, let me ask you a question. Did you say when you're younger the gel's harder and when you're older it gets softer?
Yeah,
that sounds very familiar.
They haven't made a pill for your eyes yet.
I can make a connection there, my friend.
But it's like a lava lamp almost type thing. And,
they have pills for that, for the one thing. I don't know.
But anyway, yeah, he.
Sorry.
Did you get to the Helms doctor?
Sorry, I just had two punchlines in a row. Look at Houng Dog. He's laughing.
Oh yeah. Oh, roll over there.
Funny.
Right,
funny.
Well, yeah, everything's normal. Comes with your age. He said it's going to go away, man. It's going to settle back down. You're good to go. He took X-rays. It was pretty cool. Just looking at X-rays in my eyes. Everything's good. My eyes are. Yeah, the eyes are pretty good. At least my eyes are actually, for my age, excellent condition. Other than that, floater's going to go away, and everything's good to go. I leave the doctor's office and go walk up to the receptionist, and I told the lady, I said, she's checking me out. Not literally, but she's checking me.
Checking you out? Oh, okay.
Getting rid of me. I said, yeah. So the doctor said.
That's more like it.
Yeah. I told her what the doctor said is all the stuff he's done in my eyes will be totally irresistible to all women. And she busted out in this roll of laughter like, man, I just told the funniest joke in the world. I said, hey, that kind of hurts my feelings. It's almost like you don't believe that could be the case.
Did she scramble? Anyway. Did she scramble? Say, oh, no, that's not what I meant.
No, she didn't care.
I would have said too late. Yeah.
I said, I already paid the bill, so she's good. She's fine. She didn't care.
I would have said, I'm glad mine's a Milky, so I can't quite see you.
Didn't say Milky.
He's got
I'm using
milky eyes.
And dude, just for the audience, I'm looking. I've got all these notes and everything going on. I've got the counters, all this the soundboard, all that crap. So I'm orchestrating all this. So a lot of times it looks like I'm not looking at the camera like what it would be now because I'm looking at all this other crap with dilated pupils.
All right. Yeah, dilated pupils are no joke.
What are we drinking tonight, guys?
We are drinking Old Number 7 Jack Daniels
Tennessee whiskey.
Going back to where it all began.
That's right.
Tennessee whiskey. Do you know why it's not a bourbon?
Who are you asking? If you're asking me, I'll let you go ahead and knock it out.
How about you, Houng Dog? Do you know why it's not a bourbon? The only reason it's not a bourbon?
My gosh, man. Look, right here on the label, it says whiskey.
Because of the charcoal
Dead
filtration. The last thing it does,
Yeah.
they filtrate it through charcoal.
Oh, no shit.
And yeah,
Okay.
and that adds flavor, and you can't add flavor to a bourbon, other than the four essentials.
And there you have it.
That's,
Hey, can I get the damn pour sound thing going on? What we got here?
oh man,
I'm pouring as I
Behind
speak.
already.
Jesus, pop
he's
it.
got
and
the
pour.
milky eye, so he can't see
Oh,
shit.
Jesus. He's probably going to hit a wrong
It's
button.
not milk, it's whiskey.
Whiskey eye. We all got that.
Yeah, we do. We do.
There you go.
Yeah, I tell you, I was listening to a commercial earlier about a veterinarian, and he's talking about saving a dog's life, and the dog's name was Whiskey. I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh, that is a cool name. You know what
All
else?
right, well,
what else is? I think I name my next dog when I get another one. I think I name it Trace.
Trace.
Yep, like Buffalo
After-
Trace.
Oh,
that's cool.
nice.
I thought about it, Cooper. If I get a dog, name it Cooper after the barrel makers.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's cool.
Or as Rodney would say, Koopa.
Koopa. With an A on the end. All right. The mash bill, my friends. Jack Daniels chose well and considered a recipe of 80% corn, 12% barley, and 8% rye that they still use today. Using this number one quality grade corn gives the mash an inviting sweetness, and an ample amount of rye rounds out the sweetness with a robust notes of pepper and spice, and just enough malt to bring it all together. And that's what they're telling us.
Oh, cool.
Oh man, I got to pour sins. What I done? I drank my pre-pour drink,
right,
and then poured this in the same glass on top of it. And the Knob Creek smoked maple is dominating the smell.
You are disqualified from this
rating.
You are disqualified. You're milky-eyed. Your taste buds are whacked. You can't do anything. You can't smell it. Nothing's right. Jesus Christ.
But you know what I get on the nose? I get straight up alcohol. I don't get any kind of scent or anything like that.
It almost smells like rubbing alcohol, don't it?
Yeah, it does.
Really?
Yeah.
Y'all getting off of Jack Daniels?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I'm getting straight alcohol.
And I like Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's bad or good. I'm just saying I haven't had Jack Daniels in a while. It smells straight alcohol you get out of when you're about to get a shot and they're rubbing your arm down with that shit.
Yep, you're right.
They make their own charcoal and they shoot like 160, 165 proof whiskey onto these vats of wood. So don't use anything other than whiskey to start the fire. So there's no influence from anything else that starts as charcoal, burning charcoal.
Well, while we're talking about Jack Daniels, have y'all ever been up there to the distillery?
Yes, I have been.
I went on the tour and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That is pretty damn wild how they make the charcoal.
It is wild. It is wild. The whole thing was pretty cool. We went up when we did our little ride up there. We stopped in that one there. It was cool as shit. We also did one other. We did Woodford Reserve. We didn't, but we had drinks at Woodford Reserve. That was really good too. That was a nice place. But I believe it was a Jack Daniels. That was wild too. I like the whole museum type atmosphere too. Oh
yeah.
All that stuff.
I'm also a Jack Daniels Tennessee Squire. And what that means is I own property on the grounds of the distillery.
Oh really?
Yeah, up in Lynchburg, Tennessee.
Heck yeah.
How many acres does that calculate to?
Close to 1 million, if I'm not mistaken.
There you go.
And the way I get that is I own 1 inch by 1 inch square. I got the deed to prove it.
Nice.
1 inch by 1 inch going straight to the center of the core of the earth. About a million acres.
That's 1 million acres.
Chinamans over there.
Straight freaking down.
Yeah, straight down.
Yep. You could stand in your spot on your one toe if you were able to, and no one could move you off.
He's got a pretty good sized big toe. You ever see a big toe?
No one could move you off
with that big toe.
Yep.
That's why I said pinky toe. I could stand on my pinky toe.
All right. How about the taste, Scott? What do you got on taste?
Yeah, I'm way ahead of you guys. I already tasted it, man. I get a lot of vanilla. You do pick up the charcoal, the filtration. You can pick up a little of the charcoal on the back end, I think.
I got vanilla. I got a little. It's not it's not overpowering hint of a little bit of caramel.
Vanilla caramel. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely tell the difference between the vanilla and the caramel.
Hey, another tidbit, man. Do you, they have no idea why it's called Old Number 7.
Right.
they have different speculations that Jack Daniels had 7 girlfriends at the time. It was just like a 7th recipe, and who was it? Was it Uncle Ernest that taught him?
Uncle Nearest.
Uncle Nearest.
Yeah,
that was close.
It was a former slave that taught Jack Daniels how to distill. Yeah.
Yeah. Now they got their own name brand out there as well,
and it's doing really well.
Yeah, we've had that in the podcast before, back when it was just audio, right? Uncle Nearest.
I think we did one of them. There's 2 or 3 of them, but I think we had one of them.
I'm seeing some legs too, Slow. How about you?
Yeah, it's not a bad pour, man. I hate that I poured that over top of the
oh, that's
residue.
Right. You're tainted. You're tainted. What am I asking you for?
Man, that's just going downhill. I've been eating everything up here.
It's a tough crowd. I got a little burn on the back end too. I like it kind of, you know. It doesn't die on your throat. Yeah.
Right. It's a good burn.
Yeah.
There's such a thing as a good burn on it.
Do we know a price point? Because I'm drawing a blank.
I think $29. That's about right, Reggie?
Yeah, right around $26 to $29. Yeah.
Okay.
In North Carolina, which is a controlled state. And it's readily available. You can get Jack Daniels anywhere all day long.
It's the #1 selling whiskey outside of the United States.
24 million cases a year.
Yep.
I believe all that because you know what? When people order even mixed drinks, Jack and Coke, you know, they're always ordering. Yeah. Jack's always in the recipe.
What's Jack and Jill? Is that ginger ale?
That's a song by John Cougar. What is the matter with you?
Or
is that
Jack and Jill? Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water.
Yeah, they had some bourbon
Jack
up
fell
there
down
too.
and broke his crown. Hey, what the fuck's wrong?
Hey, little Andrew Dice Clay.
That's not how I heard it. The way I heard it is Jack and Jill went up the hill to
both
smoke
with a buck and a
reef.
quarter. Jill came down with $2.50. Oh, what a whore!
See, mine's not as bad.
No, hey, we're
Jack
uncut,
and Jill.
uncensored. You told me we were uncut, uncensored, so that's what we're doing.
Jack and Jill went up the hill to smoke a little reef. Jack got high and zipped his fly, and Jill heard, "Where's the beef?"
That's a good one too. I haven't heard that.
Take off the old Wendy commercial. Remember the old lady? Where's the beef?
Where's the beef?
Yeah. Where's the beef?
Oh man, that's
well, we're dating ourselves there, man.
All right, rating time.
You are. Right.
I'll tell you. Let me throw one thing out right quick with the doctor thing, and I'll shut up about the doctor. I'm talking to the lady that's giving me some of these eye test things, and she's doing this questionnaire. She's had any operation and stuff. Said, yeah, I had a kidney removed back when I was 14. She goes, when you was 14, I said, yeah, since 1974. She goes, huh, that's the year my mom was born.
God, she was zinging you.
Oh, it's terrible.
Lord, dude.
No respect for the elderly.
Wow.
Hey, elderly people got rights.
Laughing at you being good looking after your eyes were fixed. Yeah, her mom's the same age as you. I mean, I was surprised, man. Trying to escort me, help me out to the car. Yeah, give you a walker and make you ride in a wheelchair to the curb, and then put you in the car.
All right, fellas, I'll start this off tonight on the rating.
What you got?
I think it's a solid 6. Almost a daily drinker for me.
Really?
Yeah, I like it.
Yep. I'll go next. I agree. I'm going to go with a solid 6 as well.
Okay.
I think it's everything. Price point and the taste is decent.
Yeah.
It's just something's missing, but I don't know what it is. But it's not bad at all. I give it a 6.
Well, see, y'all almost influenced me to get a higher rating just to make it a daily drinker. I'm not. It is a daily drink to me, 7. It's not my pour of choice, but I could come home after work and sit down and drink this in front of the TV or out by the pond, with a cigar. Oh, and Houng Dog. Did you see that Houng Dog rubbing an Andy Allen's golf cart with a pour of liquor and a cigar, a stick, out riding around his neighborhood?
I didn't see that. Was he doing that? Was he showing off? Nice.
Hey, so what'd you give it, Slow?
You can't have my 7.
7. Okay.
Yeah, I almost give it higher just to bring it up to daily drinker all the way around, but no, I don't want to influence y'all's. But for me, 7.
6.
It's not a drink of choice, but I could drink that. That could be a daily drinker.
Yeah, I like Jack Daniels. And I tell you what, man, we need to have Les Goldstein, Renegade Pig, a retired New Jersey officer, on the podcast. He has probably got the most extensive Jack Daniels collection that I have ever seen.
Really?
Really?
He has been collecting Jack Daniels stuff for 50 years.
Wow. Jack Daniel is woke.
Yeah. Well, so
I can't remember who all they advertised or solicited their advertising with. Can't remember who it was, but they're woke.
But I'm telling you, I go to Les's house and just look at his Jack Daniels collection all the time, man. It is amazing, the shit that he's got.
Nice.
Are they all Dusties, or did he drink them?
He's got some Dusties, and he's got a lot of a lot of stuff. We were together today, and last week we were together, and he bought a bottle of bonded rye, the Jack Daniels bonded rye. And he told me a couple of days ago, he said, man, I wish I bought 2 bottles now, because I want to open one, but I don't. I want to keep one unopened for my collection.
Yeah.
So we went out today, and he bought another bottle of the bonded rye.
Well, I'll tell you, Houng Dog, you're the historian. Who is that on the black guy, Buffalo Trace?
Freddie.
Yeah, yep. He had a wonderful story about that very thing, about drinking these drinks. Him, his dad, and his brother.
Yep. Yeah, I think on that note, he was, man, I wish I remember what his damn last name was. It's Freddie something. But anyway, Freddie was gifted. He worked at Buffalo Trace. He was gifted a bottle of 23-year Pappy Van Winkle by the owner of the company. And he, if I'm not mistaken, he and his dad and his brother were all together, and he broke out that bottle of 23-year-old Pappy and said, hey, I got this. This was a gift. We're going to drink it while we're here. He poured everybody a little shot, and he put the cap back on it, and set it down. And his dad, Freddie, is probably
Freddie Johnson.
Freddie Johnson. His dad is probably Freddie's in his 60s now, at least. This is several years ago.
3rd generation in his family.
Yep. And his dad said, whoa, what are you doing, son? He said, what do you mean? He said, why do you put the lid back on there? He said, well, it was a gift, and, we'll save it and drink it some other time. He said, no, once you pop something like that and you among friends and family, don't put the lid back on it, because you should drink it as much as you want. They ended up drinking the whole bottle.
Sharing stories, family stories.
Yeah, family stories, sharing, drinking the whole bottle. I think it was 6 months later, both his dad and his brother were gone.
Oh, man.
So he said that he was glad that he did that.
Wow.
That his dad corrected him.
Yeah. That's the same, again, segue into, today I had to do had to load up, help Buck, who's our old friend, who one of the original guys who helped with the podcast. He passed on a motorcycle ride with me, and long story short, everything's been done since 21. He died in 21. But today, his
seems like yesterday.
Widow came down. Yeah, Widow came down to pick up his bike, which is being stored at a friend's place. So we had to load it up and send it on his way. That's the kind of speaking about sentimental, not putting the lid back on and drinking it, and then all of a sudden you don't know what life's going to bring, and 6 months later they're gone. Well, we went to Daytona, bike week, me, Buck, and a friend in March of 21. And Buck was gone July of 21. So the story here in the message I'm sending: don't put off what you can do today for tomorrow. Right. Do what you want to do and do it today, because we're not guaranteed tomorrow. That's a big lesson I learned.
Yeah,
that's all.
I tell you, man, you're right. You don't put off what you can do today to tomorrow, because tomorrow might not be here for somebody or even you.
Mm-hmm.
But I got a Buck story that it's typical Buck. Buck had been after me to go to his favorite cigar bar in Mount Holly, which is Smoking Barrel. He loved that place. He liked going there and hanging out, drinking a bourbon or old fashioned, and smoking a cigar. He'd been after me for months to go with him, and I'm glad I did. I finally said, you know what? Let's go. I'll go with you. So we go to Smoking Barrel. We're sitting there, and Buck's like, man, I'm so glad you're coming. I'm so glad you decided to come here. This is the best place, man. This is great. He said, what you going to have? I said, what are you going to have, Buck? He said, I'm going to have an old-fashioned. I said, you know what? I'll take an old-fashioned as well. He said, really? I said, yeah, man. Because, most of the time I drink neat. That's it.
And what is neat?
Neat is just straight out of the bottle into the glass.
Yeah.
And That's
like a
most
man.
of the time I do that. Like, yeah. And he said, "Oh yeah, you gonna have old fashioned?" I said, "Yeah, man, let's have an old fashioned." So Buck turns to the bartender and said, "2 old fashions." She says, "Okay." She turns around and Buck walks off to the humidor at the cigar bar to find a cigar. And I said, "Ma'am," she said, "Yeah, do me a favor." "What?" "Make my old fashioned with Bland's." And she said, "Bland's, really?" I said, "Yeah, make it with Bland's."
No,
She
Buck's
said, "Oh,
paying.
okay."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Buck's
Somebody
paying.
else's
So,
ticket.
Yeah.
so I sat there and I drank the old fashioned, and it was good. And when Buck went to pay for it, I was sitting at the bar, and he was at the end of the bar, and he looks at the ticket. And he goes, $25. That's what it cost for my old fashioned.
And you gotta love
Nice.
Buck. Now, Buck was not hurting for money. If that boy
No, he
would drink, he'd drink bottom shelf liquor, and faster than anybody. Yeah, and he could afford any drink in there.
But
hey guys,
man,
do you mind if I play this, man? Just while we're talking about Buck and just old times for Buck, man. This is Buck always used to do the best intros. This is and people on YouTube don't know Buck. If you get back to the Bust Sprout side of it, man, he was on the original 3. And that's why Rodinator's such a fit for this podcast, man, because, him and Buck were so tight, man, and we share a lot of stuff, a lot of love for Buck, but this is from Buck.
Coming to you from Studio 77, deep in the heart of Dixie, Gastonia, North Carolina. Your Bourbon and Badges podcast, the podcast, Bourbon and Badges. I'm Buck.
I tell you, that's back in the Gastonia. We actually had the real studio. Rodinator, you've been there before. We always sit down and across the table from each other and share one bottle of quality liquor.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, there's so much more
Buck
personal.
It probably wasn't quality.
Yeah, Buck bought it was $2.
Well,
Price point $2.
What we always did is 3 of us that were hosts, and every third week, it was your turn to buy the liquor. Buck would always bring in Old Crow, Granddad.
Yeah. Bucks always was going to be a daily drinker with the price point because it was always like $10.
I'm going to tell you though, he introduced that like Old Crow, man. That turned out to be a daily drinker for us. Bottom shelf, and it wasn't not bad at all.
I took a bottle of Old Crow. I took a bottle of Old Crow 2 weeks ago to a bourbon tasting down here where I'm at.
Need to do that sometime and hide the label until after the tasting.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, with that being said, you gonna go into an old fashioned there, Hound Dog?
Yeah. I tell you what, I'm not gonna do an old fashioned.
Do the Kentucky Mule.
Kentucky Mule.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. So here's
what that segue up, didn't I? And you guys are killing segues tonight, by the way, and I messed that one all up.
Yep. So I got a copper cup. Copper is proper. I got ice. I got crushed ice in it, and I'm gonna take a little bit of Rebel 100.
Oh yeah, Rebel 100.
Let's see if I can do this right. Not pour it all over the down place. Pour a little bit of that in there, and a good Kentucky Mule has.
Good job, Slow.
Somebody had to find it.
Good job, Slow, because I was about to get argued
Kentucky
about
Mule has ginger beer in it. This ginger beer that I got, actually, believe it or not, is 0 calories and 0 sugar.
Wow. Got to watch the figure. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, shit. My wife's going to kill me. But got to put a little bit more in there.
So what is ginger beer?
It's beer made out of ginger root.
So it's really brewed like a beer?
Yeah. Yep. And the creme de la creme is real, original maraschino cherries.
Maraschino cherries, yep.
That's what
Not the bright red one.
Not the
We're
bright
talking
red,
the dark ones. Yep.
Well, if you can see.
Oh, yeah. Those are the good ones.
Put that in there. My wife's going to kill me because I spilled bourbon on her down brand new placemats. But
blame it on Rodinator.
Yeah.
Rod made me do it.
Rod startled you. Yeah, and the reason we're doing this Kentucky Mule is because this was Buck's other drink. besides old fashioned. He liked.
And we didn't mean turn this to do a
drinking
show, but it just went down. We went down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, we get distracted easily. Shiny object.
Anyway,
oh yeah,
that's my Kentucky Mule.
Cheers.
Cheers to Buck. We miss him. Love him.
Absolutely.
We'll be hanging out drinking together sometime.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
hopefully
good.
he's up there drinking the good stuff.
No, he's old crowing it.
But certainly there's no old crow in heaven.
God, my wife's gonna kill me.
All right.
So hey, a side note, man. I bet you guys know this, but I'm gonna throw it out there in case you don't, in case our listeners don't. Do you know where we end up getting called cops from? The England police officers. They have copper badges, and they started calling them coppers.
Right.
And it just went down through the you heard it before, they had coppers, and then they went down. I did know that. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
You just got watered down to cops.
There's another story behind the word bobbies. Did you heard about that? Calling cops bobbies?
Yeah, no, I know they get called that, but I don't know the significance.
There's a story behind that. I'm not sure if it was the. I'd have to look it up. My brother brought something up. I don't know how to explain it.
That never happens on this podcast.
No, not on this show. Has something. I thought it might have something to do.
Shit.
Yeah, I thought it had something to do with maybe the sticks they were carrying, but I'd have to get educated on it. But bobbies was another word they use. Coppers and bobbies.
We had an exchange program with Russia. Do you remember that, Hound Dog? The Russians came over with us. We had 2 officers go to ride them. And they have these big, long white sticks. That's how they pull you over. They pull up beside you, they point that stick at you. You got to pull over.
I don't remember the Russians. I remember Germans.
So the Germans, we have that. Gastonia has a German sister city in Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had exchange programs. Stuff. Yeah, we had exchange programs with Mexico, all sorts of people going out. You ever do the guys who go to Mexico, stay there for like a month or 2, learn Spanish, and come back? The programs, what's it called?
Immersion.
The immersement programs.
Immersion.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a guy that's actually been on the podcast before, Jonas Hansen.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That was always pretty cool because you get to go to another country. You just live with a Mexican family and they just speak Spanish, and you just learn it.
I bet they're so glad when Jonas left.
Probably so. John's a good guy, man.
Oh, he's a great guy, man. He's like, we do these kayak trips, and seriously, he can have a piece of bubble gum and duct tape and fix anything. Broke leg, no problem. Broken anchor, no problem. Broken boat, no problem. He can fix anything.
Like MacGyver.
Oh yeah. And I tell you what surprises me. We got a couple cop things to get into here in a minute, but what surprises me is no one. I thought we'd really get inundated. We're not inundated. Maybe several people calling in. Hey, I got this ticket. What do you think? How does real cops think about this? What's the cops' point of view on that? It just hadn't happened. I really thought we'd get some feedback since we got on YouTube, but we haven't yet.
Yeah, all right, just a correction to what I said earlier. The reason they're called bobbies is because Robert Peel's system of success and justice in England back in the 19th century. Since his name was Robert, they considered police, when they started dressing with the big tall hats with the big badge on the front and the sticks, they would call them peelers, or more memorably, bobbies, after Robert Peel.
Robert Peel, he invented community policing.
Right. Yep. Anyway, it bothers me when
England police officers, the bobbies, they don't carry weapons on them.
No.
There's always a weapon van or car somewhere nearby. They've got access to weapons. Just don't have them on their person.
Could you imagine that? Hey, I'm getting shot at. Can you start me a gun car?
Yeah.
While you're locked down,
Do they carry like nightsticks or sticks?
They do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
But that's it. That's right. All right. What's next?
Yeah, man, dating ourselves, man. What year did you start policing, Rodinator?
93.
93. Hound Dog and I started in 86. You had a walkie-talkie. Seriously, it's probably a good 9 inches, 11 inches tall. Yeah. It was huge, big long antenna.
Probably about 2.5 inches thick.
Yeah, you had that, your revolver, and a wooden nightstick. That was it.
Yeah. Yep.
I came in right after the revolver. I came with that big block 40-40, the big heavy gun.
Mm-hmm.
That was no alloy on it at all. It was all metal. Felt like if you smack somebody with it, like you took half their skull off.
Felt like a boat anchor.
That never happened, but yeah.
Well, while we kept progressing in the weapons, we're trying to keep up with the gang members. We had,
we
had, revolvers. They got pistols. We had to get the pistols to meet that firepower, and then they get the bigger guns. We get the bigger guns.
Well, there's another reason, because some of the 38s and the 9mm weren't knocking people down like they should because of the drugs and the methamphetamine and the. I remember in my rookie school, they were showing a picture of a dude laying on a gurney, dead, with nothing on. Of course, just dead, like on the autopsy table, and he was 32 holes in him.
DRT.
And they said the only reason he stopped is because he bled out. The 9, so we went up to 40s, and SWAT went to 45, and for more knockdown, But
we had the 9s, 115 grain bullets. Doc Morton, brother, retired brother, police officer from Gastonia, shoots a bad guy. Was it Massengale?
Yeah, Jimmy Massengale.
Jesse Massengale shoots him point blank in the sternum inside Sears late at night. He broke into Sears. Not Doc, the bad guy. And when the ambulance gets there, the bad guy setting up smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
After that, we go to 132 grain bullet and started killing the bad guys.
I think when Doc shot the guy, he just like looked down at his chest and said, "You shot me." And then he sat down and started smoking a cigarette.
That's crazy. The thing. Slow can get a bug bite and die.
Down there killing.
And these people in the hood can get shot in the face.
Oh, yeah.
You just kind of go, okay, that's good. Yeah.
Don't
do that again. That kind of bothers me. Yeah.
Grandma fixes them. I'm telling you, I've been bit and stung by everything this past year. It's unbelievable.
I know every time we come on before we start the show, you've been to the doctor or you've been somewhere.
So
because you got bit or stung or
So you've been to the doctor more times since you moved to the mountains than you have when you
and you know what thing about it on the mountain here? They won't let me cry. You cry? No, I'm not crying. Let me.
You better not cry, boy.
Let's talk about some current events. How about I'm dying to talk about this damn lost $80 million airplane.
Holy shit.
Jesus Christ.
Hey,
guys.
Can we build an airplane or what though? It was built to be undetectable.
Yeah, and boy, they sure couldn't detect that son of a bitch.
It took forever to find it.
Yeah. Okay, so this is all we have, and they won't release anything else. As far as I know, you guys correct me if I'm wrong. Something goes wrong on the plane while it's being flown over South Carolina. The pilot ejects out of the plane. First thing I'm thinking is, okay, it's going down, so he's ejecting for his own safety. But no, he ejected because there was something wrong with the plane. But then the plane continued to fly on autopilot for another 2 hours. North of Raleigh, I think it crashed 20 miles north of Raleigh when they finally found it. They also grounded the entire fleet of planes for the next 48 hours because of whatever happened on that plane.
Well,
my question is, go ahead.
News Today said it's the third one within the same amount of weeks.
And this is the newest of the new planes.
Right.
And they call it a Class A accident or Class A something. It's got to be severely bodily harm or death, loss of aircraft, or loss of equipment over $2.something million. So lost aircraft, and it was worth like what?
$80 million.
$80 million. So it's a Class A accident. And supposedly there's an issue with the oxygen delivering system to the pilot. Pilot started getting lightheaded, starting to pass out. So he ejected.
My question is, if that's true, fine. My question always goes to, when they take the whole fleet of planes or those types of planes and ground them, it makes me think, are they compromised somehow?
Yeah.
My mind always goes to, our enemies and our foes around the world. Have they found a way? Did those damn spy balloons that were flying over or some shit, months back, did they get information? I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Like, is our planes now, they're up there and they could be hacked, right? Or something, whatever, by whoever. And now all of them are compromised. That's crippling if that's the case, I don't know. Right. My mind always goes to those places where what's going on with our government? Are they competent?
Well, see, and you hate to feel that way. My first thought was conspiracy theory. This pilot has taken this jet and went somewhere he wasn't supposed to go, and like.
Oh, maybe he got paid off to do it or something. Is that what
and delivered. Remember, Clint Eastwood done a movie about that a long time ago. Foxfire, yeah.
Foxfire.
That's the first thing I thought of. Oh man, that's not good.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want that technology linear.
Like Red October when they took that sub. That was real good. That was
I like to sound like was it Sean Connery? I like to sound like him. That'd be cool to have that accent.
Yeah, he was good. Not anymore because he's dead. But yeah, when he was alive, he sounded pretty cool.
You know what it sounds like now?
Crickets.
Dead silence. Yeah.
Yeah, but I like Sean Connery. I mean, he's a hell of an actor.
Yeah. But that's the first thing I thought about. And it's just, I just hate these stories that make us look so just incompetent. I just get so tired of being embarrassed.
We are the laughingstock of the world.
Hey, do you ever listen to Sky News from Australia? How they talk about us?
Yeah. Well, not only Australia.
It's true. It's
not only Australia, Britain too. I mean, Well, it's a comedy act. And the only people who don't see it or who pretend it's not there is us. It's our media. Our media just
you're right.
keeps treating this guy like he's relevant. He's not.
I got a media story. That very thing. Same thing. Fake news. President Trump always said. Alabama's high school band director tased by police for not stopping his students' performance. That's the headline.
So they're inferring that the guy was just playing along with his students. Cops came up and tased his ass.
Yeah, turn the music off. Yeah, stop playing. They go, no, we're not going to stop playing. And zap, they got him.
Oh, okay.
There's
more to the story, Slow? Is there more to the story?
Yeah, man, there's so much more to it. And I think you added something that I don't have in my notes.
More to the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cops come up to him. Why is the Rodney? They ask him to terminate their band. There's a 145 student piece band.
It's a big band. It's a full band.
That's a big band.
Almost like you could say a marching band. I would say, like when they march around the field and then they sit in the stands and then they play while the game's on. Right.
Yeah.
And what I read was the game was over.
These are the guys that can't play football or dating the football players.
Right.
They're band members.
Or dating the football players.
We'll get some emails on that shit. Okay. Anyway, so the game was over, everything was over, and the police who were working there, in their official capacity, were trying to clear the field and clear people and get them out, parking lot, get them out safely. And the band guy kept playing, so they couldn't get any of their commands out, of their talk out over to people, the PA and stuff, because the band was playing. So he asked them to stop playing so they could clear the lot safely and all this. And he just refused. He refused to stop the kids from playing music after the game was already over. Several requests, he didn't do it. And then I guess push came to shove, and he resisted, because they were trying to, at some point, they just said, they were going to take him into custody for, endangering, I guess, there's going to be a charge. I don't know what happened in the exchange between the band director and the officer. I'm not sure what happened there, but he was charged with disorderly conduct. Am I right, Slow? What were the charges?
Yeah, it says here, now after the students finished their performance. So the cops say, you need to quit playing. No, we're not going to quit playing. They stood there patiently, and he finished it. They let him finish. He actually finished. Officer attempted to arrest Mims, M-I-M-S, is that his name? Is that sound correct?
Yep.
For not complying.
Yep.
The police said the band director refused to place his hands behind his back and allegedly pushed an officer, or trying to arrest an officer.
Tase the shit out of him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and his own thing here says, Mims said he was simply caught off guard. He had difficulty to see who was grabbing him.
Wow.
You can't tell these uniform officers that arresting him. You can't tell that was the ones grabbing him.
Yeah, and I don't know if you ever seen.
That's why he pushed back.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever seen a band director in front of a band. He's like the only son of a bitch standing out there by himself with a damn wand in his hand.
Well, you got the SOB
going
right?
like this.
Yeah.
So he's there, and I guess like two police officers walked up to him, one or two, in uniform, standing next to him, and he had trouble kind of figuring out that they were police, maybe, or something. What a bunch of horse shit,
And you have a use of force continuum.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Soft hands first. They couldn't pepper spray him because all these band members there, all these people there, they couldn't pepper spray the guy.
You're not going to club them because that would look really bad on video.
Oh yeah.
So you do the next thing. You do the thing that's not going to harm him. It doesn't leave any marks. Lightning. It's just complying, and you ride that lightning.
Oh yeah.
And you know what? Good for it. Love it.
Yeah.
And he went to jail. So good for you.
Lesson learned.
Jesus. What is so hard to? What's it
job.
so hard to just stop playing so people can get out? Like, it's not we're telling you to stop playing because you suck or because we don't like the music or because we hate you. We're trying to do a job here. The game's over. The field needs to be cleared. The parking lot needs to be cleared. Do you know how many shootings take part in these parking lots sometimes after high school? Big rivalry.
Oh yeah, you cannot
It's a big
let
game, right?
linger.
Rivals, right? And when people are leaving sometimes in a parking lot to shoot, it's just really good to clear the parking lot quickly, because if people start to come together in the parking lot, they start to have a little party or some shit talking in the parking lot. The next thing you know, you got a little mini ride in the parking lot.
Oh yeah.
And this guy just wants to play his music. It's like, dude, you've been playing the whole game. Shut it down. It's over.
It's time to go home.
Go home.
Go home.
Yeah. Simple.
Yep.
It's never.
He wanted to be the fight, not me. Not me. You don't apply to me.
Exactly. It's never what we just ask simple requests. Hey, can you shut it down now? We're trying to clear the parking lot. And he refuses. That you can't do that, folks.
It's not like us cops will say, okay, we're sorry, have a good day, and walk off.
Yeah, or just keep playing. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
There'll be nobody here, but please keep playing.
Yeah. Then the school comes to us and go, why is he still playing? Why haven't you cleared this parking lot? Then we get that.
Yeah.
We do everything for a reason. We don't just do it for our health. We do it because, it's required, or we're part of the job, or we're told to do so. But to say, no, I'm not going to stop playing to let I mean, who does that? This guy.
And also an article, the memes, whatever the name is, said he was tased 3 times. The officer said once. And these tasers have electronics on board. When you download that information, it tells you how many times it deployed, how long it was deployed.
Mm-hmm.
So all that information is there, man. So
I think if I'm not mistaken, the normal tase is like 5 seconds.
A normal full ride is 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And once you do 3 5-second, well, this was with Charlotte. I think it was 3 5-second rides. If it doesn't work, you move to another type of force. So if you got 3, that would be fine with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it would be funny, because I'd be like, yeah, bet you wish you would have stopped now. Huh? Yeah.
And for those who have not been tased, it's not fun.
Mm-hmm.
It is not fun.
But not like on TV. After you're tased, when the 5 seconds is up, you can stand right up and you're fine.
Oh,
you don't sit on the ground jiggling like they show on TV.
Yeah.
When you're riding it, yes, you're paralyzed. So to
it
speak.
locks you up.
Wherever the 2 prongs hit, if you can see my fingers, between those 2 prongs, all those muscles are now useless until the ride's over. Now, if one hits you in the hip and one hits you in the shoulder, wow, then you're going from the hip to your hip. All those muscles, your stomach, your chest, everything is just paralyzed, and you're just like flopping. But when the ride's over, there's no ill effect. There's no lingering effects. There's nothing.
And it's just above the use of form continuous, just above soft hands.
And soft hands is me escorting you out, putting your hands behind your back, and escorting you out. Soft hands. That's what soft hands are. Yep. So this guy's
Mr. Band Director, you got what you deserved.
Damn right.
And I hope that you're found guilty.
Absolutely.
And the school should do something about that too, because apparently, if this is his judgments, if this is how he treats, if this is him as an adult setting an example for the students, he doesn't need to be a band director.
I agree.
Just my opinion. What kind of messages sent to the kids? Don't do what the police say. It's bullshit. I mean, this is just a classic example. He hasn't grown up.
I agree.
You know what? On that note, I got a story to tell.
Do tell.
So when I was worked on Main Street in Gastonia, we had an office there on Main Street where I would go in and sit and do paperwork.
No. We didn't have an office. Houng Dog had an office.
Okay,
Houng Dog had an office.
I had an office, and I could see out on the parking in the street, and they had parallel parking only in the street of downtown Gastonia. I'm sitting there in my office one day, and my police car was parked right in front of the office. I see a driver's ed car pull down. I guess they're going to practice parallel parking. So the student pulled up and was doing the parallel parking, and they barely bumped my car.
Oh, could you imagine being that student? I'd throw up.
And I was like, what the hell? And I looked, I got up and looked out, and the instructor said, all right, let's go on and do something else. They started to pull off. So I got up, I went outside, and I yelled pretty loud for that student to stop.
And you're not a yeller.
No, I'm not a yeller. I walk up to the car. The instructor sat down looking at me like, what? And I leaned down, I looked at the student, I said, you're not in trouble. I looked at the instructor and said, you get out of the car. He's like, well, I'm an instructor. Yeah, you get out of the damn car. So he got out, and I proceeded to raise hell, bitch at him for allowing that student they had to know that they bumped my car.
Right.
No damage. It wasn't nothing to it at all.
But you're going to feel it.
Yeah, you're going to feel it.
And him telling him to drive off like nothing happened is also teaching a lesson, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I sat there and I commenced to bitching him out for probably about 5 or 6 minutes. I said, man, if I ever see you on this damn main street again, you pull some crap like that, I'm going to take you to jail. Don't know what for, but I'll take your ass to jail.
Good for you.
I'll make something up when I get there.
And again, this guy's teaching kids
how to drive. Yeah.
And he's showing them that after you bump a police car
or any
just
car,
drive the fuck off.
It don't have to be a police car. It can be any
Just leave
car.
the scene.
Right.
Just
right.
leave the scene
of an accident. Exactly.
That's okay.
Slow. Just leave the scene of an accident.
Yeah. So I bitched him out for a while, and basically, then I went over to the. I told him to get back in the car. I went to the driver's side. I said, "Listen, it's not your fault. This guy should have known better. So, if you ever bump into another car, do not just pull off. It's not right. It's not cool. You can't do that."
Hell, there's even been times, I'm sure, when we bumped a car, in my personal, and no one's around, you know who it is. You leave a note. Hey, bumped your car. This is my number. Call me if there's any issues. You take a picture of it just so they're not going to jack you up.
I can say
stuff like that.
My luck, I do that, and after I leave, a big concrete truck comes by and just swipes the whole thing and leaves. There's your note.
And your note's left there. That's why I said take a picture before you leave.
Yeah,
that's funny. That's funny.
Oh, that'd be terrible.
Funny.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, with that, close out that band director. That's one of the problems here. It used to be people would listen to the police a little bit. It's not like it was 99% of the time we were just and in the right of what we would say. And this guy's just teaching. It's just it's the society today. You don't have to listen to them. You don't have to do what they say. And then it just gets people into trouble and kids into trouble. This is such a bad example.
We're not going. So you said that one podcast before. We're not going away, and you're going to escalate. The bad guy escalates. He one dictates how far this is going to go.
Yeah.
It's totally up to them.
Answer me this, guys. Have you ever lost? I've never. 30 years of policing. Every encounter, I've always won. Even if it doesn't matter how it started, when it ended up, I won. Whether it was me getting a little bit my ass whooped, but then my buddies came and saved it, doesn't matter. That guy still went to jail. At the end of the day, we will always win that battle. We just always do, as long as we're in the right. And most of the time we are.
Well, I've got another lead in the segue. What would kill segues tonight?
That's a good segue right there, dude.
Yeah, the officer was ambushed.
We need a segue button, though. I just want to throw it out there. Do we have a segue button?
Couldn't they do it like the George Jetson segue? Meet the segue.
God, you're dating yourself, dude. George Jetson. Good people Lord. Going, what the hell's a George Jetson?
You knew who George Jetson was. We're dating all ourselves.
Go ahead.
I can tell you about SpongeBob too. You want to hear about SpongeBob?
Oh, I love SpongeBob. My kids love SpongeBob. Yeah.
Los Angeles County Sheriff's Deputy Ryan, and I'm gonna kill his last name. Is it Clinkenboomer? Clinkenboomer?
We'll go with
it. I'm gonna spell it. CLINKUNBOOMER.
Yeah, it's just how it sounds.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah. This is.
Go ahead.
I think the Clinkenboomer was the bad guy. It says a suspect in the ambush murder of Los Angeles County Sheriff's Deputy Ryan. Yeah, Klingenberg was the bad guy. So it don't matter if the guy's got his name right or not.
Okay.
Piece of crap. Was arrested early Monday morning, a day and a half after he ambushed. And he pulls up to the officer's car. Officer's like, yeah, what's up? Boom. Shoots, kills him.
And so just to add to that, ambushes across the country are through the roof. especially in urban areas and cities, Chicago, New York. And, I mean, everybody who has a thinking brain, who has a little bit of common sense, a little bit of logic, we know why. Ever since the defund the police crap, all this other horse shit that went on for so many years, after 9/11, 9/11, I think, was the time where we were so connected as a country. We were so on the same page. First responders were heralded, everybody was celebrating them, and we were fine with doing our job. And it was just a really nice time where I think 90% of the country was like on the same page after 9/11. And ever since then, I mean, today we are so divided, and the police are just always vilified. It's never what the guy does. It's always our reaction, the police reaction. It's always and if we do anything wrong, that's what the topic is. Okay, he didn't read him his Miranda right, or he.
Well, they never show the bad guy's action. Whatever. They always show. The media, the crooked media, false media, always shows the officer's reaction.
Exactly, and with the millions of calls every year, millions, literally, that's not a misspoke. Millions of calls for the 750,000 police officers we have across the country. The millions of calls they take, you'll hear about 15 or 20 incidents of shit. Do the math, okay? Yeah. We do the job and we do it well, okay? They want to highlight the bullshit, the little aspects like that. Fine, you can knock yourself out. But any logical, common sense thinking person who could do math and add and subtract knows there's not a problem with the police. We don't need more training. We don't need more any of that stuff. What we don't need more laws. We need people to behave. Simple.
Yeah, and we need
and stop doing your bullshit. And then you won't DAs. We don't wake up in the morning and go on calls and say, I'm going to go beat somebody's ass.
Oh, yeah.
It ends up happening when someone, listen, just behave and everything would be fine.
And we don't need more laws. We need the DA's office and the court system to punish and put away these scumbags. Lock them up, put them away.
We need to be on the same page again. We don't need to be 90%. Fighting each other internally. Internally, we're fighting each other. Cops 90%. Against DAs, DAs against judges. But when you have these DAs, these woke DAs, these Soros-backed DAs who are not prosecuting the murderers, the rapists, the robbers, okay, but they're going after people who defend against those people. You see every day now, you see some store owner taking a bat to a guy's head who's trying to rob him. And then they're thinking about charging the store owner with assault. Like, where are we in this country? Yeah. If the police can't do the job because they get chastised every time they do, or they get vilified, and the store owner can't defend himself, what are we supposed to do? Just let him walk out like they do in California? Now that you can steal up to
Chicago.
Hey, you could steal up to $999 worth of shit in California, and they won't press charges.
Hey, Chicago city of Chicago is opening up their own supermarket. The city is, because they can't get other grocery stores. Well, Walmart pulled out 3 of their stores because of the crime. They can't. Nobody else come in here because of the crime. So their answer is, let's start controlling it all.
All right,
the government knows what's best for everybody. We will have a government run.
Let me conspiracy theory this. You ready?
Yeah.
They want that. You know why? Because then the government controls the food.
Yeah.
And they won't be being robbed because they'll have security in their store. And the government store will have security. But the Walmarts and the Food Lines and all those people, let them go. Let them go. That's what they always say because they don't want to be sued. It's all this fear. I'm telling you, look at how many stores of Walgreens in California closed. All these places in California are closing down. Right now, do you know Gavin Newsom is suing every single energy company in America? Every single one, because they say they're denying climate change. He's suing every energy company. So I say, how about we stop delivering gasoline? All fossil fuels should stop in California right now because it's bad, according to the governor, right?
According to them, yeah.
In 2 days, that place would be rioting if they had no fossil fuels. How about you have to drive to Yuma, Arizona to get your gas? How about that, California person? Yeah, and then drive back 2 hours.
Somebody researched this and knows Yuma.
You damn right I did. I get so hot about this shit. It's ridiculous. And I'm way off path, but damn, I've had a couple drinks,
Take a drink.
Jesus Christ.
You said a couple pours, right?
I'm kind of scared.
All right, I'm done. I went way off topic. I'm sorry.
So, Rod said on that, in the beginning of that rant.
That's my door. I got to go.
Yeah.
about the 9/11. But you know what? This past weekend, I went out on a 9/11 memorial ride. I went to Wilmington, North Carolina, where at the Wilmington Harley Davidson show, I think it's Coastal or Harley Davidson, that's what it's called. They had a lot of first responders, firefighters. It was actually put on by the Red Knights Motorcycle Club, which is a firefighter motorcycle club. Went up there to support them, and man, it was a beautiful day. There was probably anywhere between 150 to 200 bikes there. It was packed full.
Nice.
And the guy that organized it, he was a New York City fireman the day of 9/11. You know, he worked there and you know, he had to deal with the aftermath and all that stuff. So I'm so glad that 3 or 4 days after 9/11, I was able to do that ride. And I wish it was before now so I could talk about it on the last podcast when I talked about 9/11 stuff.
Right.
But man, it was amazing to see all those people out there to support.
Right.
You know, fallen firefighters, the 343 firefighters that lost their lives in 9/11.
Sure. Well, I can tell you that we could do a whole podcast just on firefighters and how they assisted us in the performance of our duties in the past.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. You know how many times I was maybe in a little bit of a knockdown drag out and had firemen come in and save my ass? Oh yeah. Those guys love to fight because they can never fight. They always have to stand back. But if shit hits the fan, they get the permission. Man, they come. They come hard.
Oh yeah.
And they just laugh and get back on their truck and drive off.
Because they got no damn paperwork.
No paperwork.
Appreciate you. I'm like, you bastards. Thank you.
And then your cat pulls up. Yeah. The cat pulls up after it's all done. You got a bad guy beat all the Hades. He's like, what the hell did you do?
You know what's funny too? They'll beat him and then they'll put Band-Aids on him and leave.
Yeah.
They go,
exactly.
Then they go,
Rod Netter, you'll appreciate this. One of the things led to the rest of the scumbag that ambushed that officer.
Yeah.
Is the community was so outraged. Everybody came forth with every bit of information they had to find this piece of crap.
Oh,
where was that?
Nice.
Where was it?
Los Angeles.
Oh my God. Imagine that. Now listen, my rant might have think like, you know, I'm taking the country's full of idiots. We're not. The silent majority is still intact. I'm talking about the people who are highlighted through the media and you see on TV, all the stories we see, it makes it look like we're, you know, but the silent majority is there. The silent majority's got to get some balls a little bit and they got to start coming forward.
It's happening, man. It's happening. Slowly but surely, it is happening.
I believe it is. So I'm not all gloom and doom. I just wish it would happen a little quicker because I'm tired of this shit. I'll be out there in front. I don't give a shit. I'm retired.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Good shit.
Best job in the world.
Hell yeah.
Sir.
As you would say.
Hound Dog's representing this week. I did last week. Gastonia PD cap on there.
PD hat.
Check it out.
Gastonia Police.
Yep.
I guess I might have to represent some Charlotte here soon, huh? Is that
Charlotte,
what we're going with this? All right.
You know, whatever you want to do.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, they kind of quiet everybody down. Okay, man, it is that time of the night.
I'm looking at the clock, dude. I'm waiting for you to get the closing because I got the clock on this time. Yeah, we're at 58:33, bro.
So, any last words, 37. Any shout outs, any love you want to throw anywhere?
Go ahead. Anybody?
Well, the only thing I want to say is, man, I'm really surprised that no one's come forward. So, hey, you know, like I say, they've got a ticket. They want us to talk about it. They got an issue about cops. You know, this cop beat the crap out of JoJo. You know, we'll research it. We'll look into it and give you our point of view. Sometimes there are bad cops out there, and if we believe they're bad cops, we'll tell you.
True.
Also, if he done things right, we'll tell you what he did right and why the bad guy is in the position he's in.
And on that note, it's been several years ago. Well, about a year or so ago, I had a guy from Los Angeles who emailed me because he knew I was on Bourbon and Badges podcast, and he had a case that he was looking at. He's also another podcaster. The case he was looking at, he thought the police done wrong in the podcast. He wanted.
Oh, I remember that.
And he wanted me to look at it and give him my honest opinion. I looked it over. I sent it to Slow Ride. I sent it to Buck. We all three looked it over. The police were totally in the right on it. They were 100% in the right. And he got mad because he wanted me to find that the police were in the wrong. You know,
and if that were the case, that's exactly what we would have said.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If they were wrong and they fucked up, they should have done what they did. We would have said it.
The same thing I want our Supreme Court justice to do. You call balls and strikes. You don't make up the rules. The rules are in place. You call balls and strikes. You call them as you see them.
Right.
If an officer's wrong, listen, I was a captain. If an officer's wrong, I'm the first one to pull, because I don't want him to continue to be wrong. That's number one.
Right.
We don't promote wrong. Okay.
Right.
If an officer does something wrong, the first thing I'm going to do is correct it quickly. So I expect his FTO, his sergeant, a senior officer, a lieutenant, whoever it is to do it. And if that doesn't happen, then I'm coming up that ass for everybody. I'm coming to the lieutenant. Why isn't this been correct? You know, there's a whole process. We really try to keep everything and officers doing the right thing, because all it does is bring a bad shadow and a bad look on the rest of the department. We don't want that.
Right. No,
we don't promote that. We don't.
Nope.
And listen, we're not out here hunting people. We're not out here wanting to go. We don't want any of the bad press that we get. We want everything to be peaceful. I like to get my coffee, get my damn, the cliche, my donut, right? Donut.
Your newspaper.
Yeah, whatever. And go sit somewhere quiet until I get my first call. You know, we're not out here doing all that. So just keep that in mind, folks. Police your friends. I know today might be hard because of all the media coverage, but I'm telling you, man, we're solid. They're still solid. 750,000 officers, millions of calls a year. You hear of a handful of bad things. Keep that in perspective.
And Bourbon and Badges, the podcast has your back.
We do. We do.
Damn right.
All right, guys, it's been lovely.
I shouted out a lot during this podcast, so I ain't got no
I
more
tell you,
shout-outs.
our segues were excellent, man. We were gagging like professionals.
Gee, I went off there for a second.
You did. You started to scare us.
I think my neighbor's called. I think I hear something at the front door. Slow? Is there something at the front door?
All right, special thanks to Black Rifle Training Group, Law Enforcement Day at lawenforceday.com. Boone's Bourbon,
drink that bourbon. Shit. Damn, drink it. It's good.
Man, if you like what you've seen, or if you don't like to see it, hit that like button. It helps us with the algorithms. Is that right? Gets us out to more viewers and gives a thumb up. Hit subscribe, and please come back and see us.
Comment and ask questions. We'll be glad to answer.
Yeah, man. I don't understand. You got a great board of people here who, 90 years of law enforcement can address these issues.
And we'll be more than happy to answer anything you might not like, or we might not like the question, but we'll still answer it.
Yeah.
We'll give you our honest opinion.
Yeah.
All right, Hound Dog, what you got to say?
I got to say, let's drink about it and drink responsibly.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a Studio 77 production.
Peace.
No, you first responders out there, please be careful and watch your backs.
All right, they went to professionalism. You mean it's over? Well, shit.